So this is one of the more interesting things my dash cam has ever captured, a distant second to the Philly naked bike ride, but that's a story for another day. It's a simple event, a truck hitting a cab, but I love it because it reminds me of three important things. That haste makes waste, that it's more important to be happy than it is to be right, and most of all, so as an Uber driver, when I'm not getting flipped off by the cab drivers who don't seem to be too fond of us, I do tend to follow their lead because they sure know how to drive. So I follow this guy as he cuts across the end of the bike lane, which, ironically, is actually the kind of thing that the naked bike ride I mentioned says they are trying to prevent. You know, cyclist safety. Even though, in my opinion, it's just an excuse for people to get naked in public.
Are you kidding me?
But I digress. What you'll see in a moment is that a police officer blocked off the street. The cab is in the turning lane, but by default, since the road is closed, you know the truck is going to have to turn right, as it's a one-way street. And I think if you wanted to get technical, some fancy insurance lawyer could blame the city of Philadelphia for shutting down the road but not having anyone directing traffic. The truck starts turning first, and you'll see the cab kind of jump the curb a bit to beat the truck. Literally a real life example of why you shouldn't cut corners. But again, the cab is the one who was in the turning lane, so honestly, I have no idea who is at fault. But even more importantly, who the heck cares? I mean, of course, after the fact, you have to care because you need to figure out who pays the damages. But if one of them just decided before this happened to sacrifice 10 seconds and a little bit of ego and let the other person turn first, even though they believed they had the right of way, they would have saved themselves a lot of time and frustration. And finally, my favorite part of the whole thing, despite seeing this accident unfold in front of his eyes, this guy still goes up to the cab. Now, I don't know if he was trying to get a ride or if he was just mocking the driver, but regardless, what a reminder that most people could not care any less about whatever it is you're going through. It's all about what you can do for them and what you can do for them right now. It's a cold world, man. It's a cold, cold world.